Good day, everybody. I hope that you're doing well. I hope you're off to a great start of another beautiful week, wherever you are in the world. Today, I just want us to be so inspired about the beginning of greater things in our lives when things look like they're dying. So today, we'll be talking about beyond the death phase. Yes, beyond the death phase. One would ask me, is there anything beyond things that are dying, beyond death? Spiritually, depending on your spiritual background, your spiritual beliefs, we all know and believe in one way or another about life after death. So even when physically we die, there is life after death. Now let's start from the bare minimum, basic. When you take any seed that you plant on the ground, it carries life inside of it. But the first thing that happens, and what it seems for the first cycle of its life, is death. It looks dry, it becomes withered, it looks useless and valueless, invaluable. It looks like it has lost value. It goes into the ground and we see nothing happening. And there is no life. Actually, it dies. If you put it from the ground, if you dig the soil and look at where you've buried it, you find that it is completely dry and dead. And one would be a fool to think that seed truly is dead. Because inside of that dead-looking seed is the bursting forth of great life, fruits, trees, life of many things to come. I want to inspire you at the beginning of this week to begin to take a look at the things in your life that seem like they're dying or they seem dead. Some things could truly be dead, and you need to let them go. But a lot of times we miss a great opportunity to catapult into a greater season, a greater dimension of our lives, a greater dimension of our relationships, because we don't take note of that phase and the process that we need to pay attention to during the season of times when things look like they're dying. You see, when you plant the seed on the ground, you don't ignore it, you water it. So even when things look like they're dead, they still need attention. They still need your input. They still need your effort. A relationship that looks like it even died. How many do I know? Some people say, but that person has ghosted me. They've gone MIA for a year and it looked like it was dead, gone in the wind. Ghosted, quiet, silent. And then suddenly there is activity, there's action. 10 years later, you're saying, how did we meet? And one says, this person ghosted me for a year when we first met. And imagine that was a phase when things looked like they were dead. But when you start to look and see during that process of death, what's happening? That process when things are seeming like they're dying, what is happening? Are you maintaining a healthy spirit, a healthy mindset, an open outlook towards things? Because when you continue to water the seed and just, have a positive attitude towards what seems to be going on, whichever way it ends, you keep watering the seed. If it doesn't grow, it's not your fault, you watered it. If it does grow, then thank you, well done, you watered it. But don't ignore the process, even when things look like they're dying. Continue to engage in what needs to be engaged. Now, I have a disclaimer here. I've done another series of the gift of goodbye. So please discern when something needs to go and be out of your season and life completely. But I'm talking about things that are going through a phase of renewal, a phase of restructuring, a phase of being reconfigured, being recalibrated. There is processes that are taking place in the back end that we cannot see. The seed is gathering roots on the ground, but it cannot be seen. On the surface, things look like they're quiet and completely dead, like there's nothing happening. But unknown to you, there's a lot of activity that's happening spiritually and physically. around those matters. Remember, even when you look at the cycles of growth in businesses, in people's visions, in ministries, in churches, there looks like a time, if you interrogate very clearly, the seasons when it seemed like things were dead, when it seemed like people left, it seemed like the dream had died, it seemed like the business was crashing and closing, were times of recalibration, restructuring, engineering. And if you stick it through during that time and keep doing what you must do, you realize that that business springs forth into a greater and stronger season of growth. There's growth part, there's expansion, there's increased efficiencies, there's profitability, there's recalibration, there's a whole new dimension, there's a rebirth. So beyond the death phase is a strong and greater phase. The process is painful, and that's why it's almost the death phase. Everything seems like it's chipping off, crumbling, dying, no hope, lifeless. When you lift things and they just flop down. When you try to ignite things, they're not even moving, they're not shaking. You try everything you've tried, nothing seems to be moving. But if you stick in, and if you engage, and if you remain positive, and you keep doing what you must do, and you stick in there, you don't throw in the towel, then you give yourself an opportunity to see what is beyond that death phase. And that is great life. I'm mostly inspired by the eagle. I keep telling this story over and over. In fact, I'm just going to, frame a flying eagle in my room soon, Because when you look at the process, it's a very painful process of molting. It looks like it's dying, no beak, no feathers, no claws, no food, cold nights, harsh, sunburns. It actually looks like it's dying. But when it goes through that process, it can't even believe itself that there was life beyond that death phase, that phase that was looking like death. It begins to spring higher, fly higher. It has an increased lifespan of more than 40 years to go. Yet if it doesn't go through that phase and doesn't go through the process, it dies at that point. True death. So as you're going through your day-to-day, all the aspects of your life this week, begin to interrogate. Are you in a marriage that is looking like it's just dying or dead? It looks like it's at the end. Like, what's the point? Let's just pack it. It could be going through a phase where you just need to continue to water it, to continue to nurture it, to continue to engage, and allow God to spring it forth into its greater and stronger season. I've seen those happen. I've seen couples that I admire, they're in their 60s, 70s. And one time I was visiting this elderly couple, and the man was doting over the lady, and he knew all her favorite things, and he was getting them for her favorite drink, her favorite meal, dish. And they would sit, and then they put their legs on a pouch, both of them, and they start sipping into the sunset in the afternoon. And I told them, my goodness, I admire you guys. They say, it was not always like this, Nyakan. There are days like literally we fought and we parted, and then we just said we thought it was over, but we said, okay, let's try again. And then we overcame that phase, and we became the best of friends, became soulmates, and here we are in our sunsets, enjoying. Stronger and greater. Let it be your dream. Let it be your business. Let it be your vision, your ministry, your assignment, whatever it is you're passionate about that seems to be dying. I'd love to inspire you to continue to engage and believe in that dream. Believe in whatever it is that seems like it's dying. That child you're just about to throw the towel on. You're just about to say, forget it. Just hang in a little more. Engage a little more. And watch what the love that you give, the unconditional love you're giving this child, the support that you're giving, watch and see what it births. You'll be surprised. You'll say, I almost gave up on that child, but thank God I didn't, because look what they have become, a greater human being. So remain inspired as you begin your week. Remember that anything that seems like it's dying may just be looking like it's dying, but actually in the process of getting greater life. Be blessed and do have a lovely week.